There is a seductive whisper that travels through the halls of our ambition. It is a quiet, insidious noise that disguises itself as reason, as rest, as you deserve a break. It tells you that the finish line is closer than it is. It tells you that you have done enough. It tells you that tomorrow, with its fresh coffee and bright sunlight, will be a better day to begin the heavy lifting. I am here, standing in front of you, to tell you that this whisper is a lie. It is the voice of the average, the echo of the forgotten, and the lullaby those who will never know what they could have become. We are standing at the crossroads of intention and action. On one path lies the comfortable warmth of the almost. It is a path paved with good intentions, with detailed planners, with highlighted to-do lists, and with dreams that never left the parking lot. On the other path lies the cold, hard, unforgiving, yet ultimately glorious road of execution. That path has no scenery. It has no cheering crowds. It has only the sound of your own footsteps and the rhythm of your own breath. To walk that path, you do not need a better plan. You do not need a newer laptop. You do not need a silent room or a perfect schedule. You need one thing and one thing only. You need to stay locked in. Let us define what it means to be locked in. This is not a corporate motivational slogan we print on a poster next to the water cooler. To be locked in is a state of war. It is a conscious, violent severing of the umbilical cord to distraction. When you are locked in, you do not check your phone because the phone does not exist. You do not wonder what your friends are doing because your friends have ceased to be a variable in your equation. You do not feel the ache in your back or the growl in your stomach because your body has become a servant to your will. Not the other way around. To be locked in means that the world outside your immediate task has gone dark. The volume of reality has been turned down to zero, and the only sound left is the frequency of your purpose. Look around you. Look at the architecture of modern life. It has been specifically engineered to prevent you from locking in. Every notification is a tiny pickaxe chipping away at the foundation of your attention span. Every scroll through a feed is a vote for the comfort of consumption over the pain of production. We have become addicted to the micro hit of distraction. We wake up and we immediately reach for a device that brings the chaos of 7 billion people into our bed sheets. We start our day in a defensive crouch, reacting to emails, to likes, to news, to drama, none of which moves our personal needle 1 millimeter forward. And then we wonder why we feel tired. We wonder why 5 years have passed and we are standing in the same spot. We have confused movement with progress. We have confused being busy with being effective. You can run on a treadmill for 1,000 hours and sweat and gasp for air, but at the end of it, you are still in the same basement. Activity is not achievement. Noise is not signal. Noise is not signal. And distraction is not rest. Distraction is the enemy of rest. So I'm asking you to do something radical. I'm asking you to be boring. I'm asking you to be a monk. I am asking you to disappear from the social scene, to stop explaining your process on Instagram, to stop looking for validation before you have even produced the result. The need for external validation is the death rattle of potential. If you need a round of applause every time you sit down to work, you are not a creator. You are a performing monkey, and the audience will get tired of you before you ever get good. We are in love with the idea of being in flow. We have romanticized the moment where the muse descends and the work pours out of us like water from a fountain. Let me shatter that illusion for you right now. The muse does not visit the lazy. The muse does not visit the distracted. The muse is a coward. The threats on Twitter are not saber-toothed tigers, they are noise. And you are allowing your ancient biology to dictate your modern future. To stay locked in, you must override the operating system. You must grab the steering wheel of your own mind and yank it back onto the road. This requires discipline. But discipline is not something you are born with. Discipline is a muscle. And like any muscle, it atrophies with disuse and grows with resistance. Every time you choose to work instead of watch, you get stronger. Every time you choose to finish the page instead of flipping the channel, you get tougher. You are not just building a project, you are building a self. You are forging a character that can handle pressure. You are becoming a person who does not flinch when the storm comes, and the storm will come. Life is not a straight line. You will face rejection. You will be laughed at. You will lose money. You will have days where you feel like a fraud. In those moments, the whisper will get louder. It will say, see, I told you you aren't good enough. You should quit while you still have some dignity. This is the moment of truth. This is the hinge of fate. This is where you look at the whisper and you say, I hear you and I reject you. Then you put your head down and you do the next right thing. Not the big thing, not the heroic thing, the next small, ugly, tedious thing. You make the phone call. You write the paragraph. You do the rep. You stay locked in for 5 more minutes, and then 5 more, and then 5 more. We are afraid of boredom because boredom is the void where we have to face ourselves. When you are locked in, you are staring into the abyss of your own limitation. You realize how much you don't know. You realize how clumsy your hands are. You realize how slow your mind is. That is a painful realization. It's much easier to scroll away from that pain. But that pain is called the gap. It is the distance between who you are today and who you need to become to win. Closing that gap is the entire game. You do not close the gap by looking away. You close the gap by staring directly at your weakness and grinding it into dust. I want you to consider the concept of temporal depth. Shallow people live in the now. They want the reward instantly. If the work doesn't produce a result in 10 minutes, they quit. Deep people live in the long now. They understand that the seed planted today will not bear fruit for 5 years, but they plant it anyway because they are locked into a vision that transcends their current emotional state. You have to become a deep person. You have to fall in love with the lag. The lag between effort and result is the testing ground. If you can survive the lag, you own the result. Stop asking, is it worth it? That question is a trap. It implies that you have a crystal ball. You don't. The worth is created by the effort. A lump of clay is worthless until the sculptor stays locked in for 40 hours. A blank canvas is worthless until the painter stays locked in for 6 months. A startup idea is worthless until the founder stays locked in for 3 years of rejection. The value is not in the outcome. The value is in the resistance you overcame to get there. So how do we actually do this? How do we stay locked in when the world is designed to pull us apart? You need system, not motivation. It is a drug. It wears off and leaves you worse than before. It wears off and before. Systems are the architecture of discipline. First, you must control your environment. You cannot fight the casino and expect to win. If your phone is in the room, you will check it. You do not have superhuman willpower. You have human willpower. Put the phone in another room. Turn it off. Better yet, leave it at home. Create a physical space that screams work. If your desk is messy, your mind is messy. If you sit on the couch, you will sleep. Stand up. Sit at a table. Turn on a lamp. Ritualize the start of your locked-in time. A specific playlist. A specific cup of water. A specific posture. These rituals are the cues that tell your nervous system, we are at war now. Second, you must batch your distractions. You do not need to be available 24/7. That is a disease of the modern ego. Set a specific time of day for emails, for social media, for errands. Outside of that window, you do not exist to the digital world. The world survived for thousands of years without being able to reach you instantly. It will survive your 2-hour work block. The urgent is almost never important. Nah. Most things that scream for your attention are just noise. Let them scream. You are locked in. Third, you must define your one thing. What is the single most impactful thing you can do today to move the needle? Not 10 things, not 5 things. One thing, do that thing first. Before breakfast, before coffee, before you check the score. Do the hard thing while your brain is fresh. The rest of the day is cleanup. If you do your hardest task last, you will dread it all day and you will likely avoid it. Kill the giant first thing in the morning, and the rest of the day is a victory lap. Fourth, you must embrace the timer. The human mind is terrible at estimating time. Use the Pomodoro technique. 25 minutes of absolute brutal focus, then 5 minutes of rest. During those 25 minutes, you are a machine. You do not scratch itches. You do not get water. You do not stretch. You work. I'm a number. I stretch, you work. When the timer goes off, you stop. You stand up. You walk away, you breathe. Then you do it again. This teaches your brain that focus is a sprint, not a marathon. And it gives you a finish line to look forward to. But ultimately, all the techniques in the world will fail you if you do not have a why that is bigger than your comfort. Why are you doing this? Is it to buy a nicer car? That will not sustain you through the dip. Is it to prove your ex wrong? That flame burns out. Your why has to be existential. It has to be about who you are. I am a person who finishes what he starts. I am a person who outworks yesterday. I am a person who does not quit. Identity-based habits are the only ones that last. You are not trying to write a book. You are trying to become a writer. You are not trying to lose 10 pounds. You are trying to become an athlete. The work is just the evidence of who you have decided to become. I want to leave you with a final stock image. Imagine yourself on your deathbed. You are old. You are looking back at the reels of your life. What do you see? Do you see a life of cautious restraint? Do you see a life where you always took the easy path, the comfortable seat, the distraction? Or do you see a life where you went into the dark forest alone, where you fought the wolves, where you carved your name into the stone with bloody fingernails? Regret is a heavier burden than exhaustion. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. So I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm asking you to be present. I'm asking you to stop sleepwalking through your potential. Right now, in this very moment, there's a version of you that exists in the future. That version is stronger, smarter, richer, more capable, more at peace. That version of you is looking back at this moment and they are screaming at you. They are begging you. They are saying, do not scroll. Do not snooze. Do not quit. Stay locked in. Just for today. Just for this hour. Stay locked in. The world is waiting for the person you become on the other side of the work. But they cannot meet that person until you become them. And you become them by bleeding in the dark when no one is watching. Turn off the noise, forget the lights, ignore the critics. The only thing that matters is the object in front of you, the blank page, the barbell, the code, the canvas, the phone call. Lock your eyes on the target, tighten your grip, breathe deep, and do not stop until it is. Stay locked in work. The rest is just noise.